So then I was like, what are you doing tomorrow? And you were like, I have work.
It's a Monday.
And I was like, well, do you want to call in sick and come with me on a first date to Paris instead? Hi guys, I'm Stevie, and this is my love, Josie. I guess this is the longest relationship I've ever been in.
By a month.
What the fuck? So we thought we'd make a video today and talk about how we met. Because a lot of people think it's an interesting story. I think it's fucking embarrassing, but...
You never get embarrassed.
I know. Okay, let's travel back in time to August 2018.
Picture the scene. We're at the Excel Center.
Do you forget that most people don't know what that is?
It's basically a giant warehouse conference space where they host lots of YouTube conventions.
We met at a YouTube convention.
How cliche. Am I just telling the whole story?
Yeah, go on then.
No!
I forgot.
This is your video.
I don't remember how we met.
You actually don't. You're like trying to be cute about it, but you actually don't remember how we met.
You have to tell the first part because
you don't remember
any of it.
I could have been anyone.
I remember the story.
Okay.
I don't actually remember any of this happening.
We have had a lot of mutual friends for a while.
Yeah, but we'd
never crossed paths.
And we did not know of each other either.
No, I definitely knew of you.
What?
But not know you, you know?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. So we have a mutual friend, Lucy Moon, who is also a YouTuber, and she had a +1 to bring someone with her to this YouTube convention. And she chose Josie.
Because I knew a bunch of people going, even though I wasn't a YouTuber. Blah, blah, blah.
Why did you know a lot of people going? Why are you friends with so many YouTubers?
I don't know. I guess once you know one, it's like dominoes, isn't it? So just keep coming. Yeah, so I was in a bar with Lucy, Bar 55, which is now shut down, RIP, in Camden. We were talking about going, and I vaguely remember her saying something along the lines of, like, talking about you and saying something along the lines of, like, you would definitely be my type, or, like, I would definitely be into you in some capacity. You told me she warned you. She was like...
Really? Yeah, she was like, warning, I'm probably gonna introduce you to Stevie and she's your type, so...
Yeah, I honestly can't remember exactly how it was said. I just remember
Lucy doesn't even remember.
I just remember it like being like a thing on my mind that I was kind of like a bit nervous to meet you or whatever. And then on the first day of Sitsi that I went, which was the second day I think, Lucy was like, I'm having dinner with a bunch of people, come and meet me there in this hotel place. So I rock up to this dinner, and also I'd just been on a boat all day at some park, and I'd got a lot of sunburn, and I was feeling very conscious about it because I'm very pale. I rocked up to this dinner. You were all already finished because I wasn't meant to eat. I just meant to meet you there.
I have no recollection of this.
Lucy was here. Someone I don't know. Hannah Witten was there. You were there at this table, and I was like, I felt really like nervous, which is how I knew I fancied you, because I was like, oh my god, what the f-? Like, I don't know. It's just really embarrassing. I'm really embarrassed talking about it.
Ah, you can do it.
So we vaguely met there, but we didn't talk or anything. You went away. I think it was the next day that I came back to Sitsi. You were on a panel with Lucy, which I went to.
I've been on a panel with Lucy before?
Oh my lord, you remember nothing! You were on a panel, and then I went backstage with whoever I was with, but you were there with Lucy, and I got introduced to you. Mm-hmm. So it was like backstage.
What's so funny is that we weren't introduced to each other, even though we had a dinner together at a table, but then we were introduced just like walking in backstage. That's so funny.
Well, I think you'd like clicked onto my face this time. Like before I was just someone who was just like there for Lucy, and then this time it was like you recognized me from the day before. Yeah. So it was like a little bit different, I suppose. But then we ended up walking from the backstage of that panel to the lifts to go to the green room. Yeah. As we were walking there, you or Lucy said that you were hungry or something like that. So we ended up, us three, me, you, Lucy, like walking through the convention, like all the way through the middle into the hall bit where all the food is.
Really?
Yeah, you don't remember this at all.
I have no recollection of any of this.
I remember it all. Yeah, so we went to get some food, and we went to a burrito place. It could have been Taco Bell. No. Fucking wish there was Taco Bell there. Oh my god, I really want Taco Bell.
Too bad, you live in England.
I'm so hungry. And I think you got a burrito bowl or some shit.
Huh.
I can't remember.
Sounds like me.
But anyway, we sat together, me, you and Lucy, and we had lunch, and you were asking like a bunch of questions, but I can't remember what they were, but I was so nervous.
I was asking you questions about yourself?
You were asking questions, yeah, but I can't remember what they were, but like...
I mean, that's what I do.
You were
I'm like,
so
21 questions, let's see if we're compatible before I flirt with you.
Yeah, you were really intimidating, but only because I had a crush on you, I think. Like,
you already had a crush on me. We hadn't even spoken.
Well, I think when I say have a crush, it means I found you attractive and you made me nervous. I don't mean like I was in love with you, you know?
Yeah.
Don't know what it means in America.
I think it's something in between those two things.
No, it was like...
What do you call in between finding someone physically attractive and being in love with them?
Liking them. Oh yeah, so we had lunch together, you asked me a bunch of questions, and then we went back to go to the green room. So we walked through the thing, and I remember like you marching through. Like you like kind of march when you walk.
What?
Like, when you have like a mission, you kind of like march, and I found it really attractive at the time. I don't know why. And then we got to the lift, and you were like, "Oh, I need more friends in London."
I said, "Do you live in London?" I need
was
more
like,
friends in London.
Yeah.
I didn't need more friends in London.
And then you asked for my number.
Yeah.
And then
That was my excuse, apparently.
But I didn't know my number off by heart, so I was like really embarrassed because I had to like get my phone out to look up my number to type it in. I had it in my notes like number.
Then now what happens? I can never remember your number, so you always have to tell me.
I know.
Every single
I
day.
now know my number off by heart because you ask me for my number every time you order something or do anything.
Why do you say off by heart? Why is it not? I know my number by heart.
Whoa. We say off by heart.
Yeah, that's weird. Why is it not on by heart? Why is it off?
I don't know. That's interesting.
Answer in the comments below. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, so you asked my number, I typed it into your phone from my phone. Then I think that was like it. Then we like went to the green room and we kind of went our separate ways, right?
Yeah. Speaking of going our separate ways, I have a gift for you.
Are we breaking up?
No.
What is this?
Does it say Honey Playbox on it? Wow, that happens to be the sponsor of this video.
Hello? What? It's sucking my finger away.
Since when we first met, we were into each other without being into each other. Am I right? Which could only mean one thing. We were masturbating constantly. What did you think was going to happen in this video?
I don't know.
And for you, constant masturbation can be made easier with our sponsor, Honey Playbox. Honey Playbox, which also happens to be my nickname for Josie, is a sex toy store that...
I hate you.
They sell amazing sex toys for all your genital genres. Alliteration is fun.
Want a vibrator that looks like an adorable cartoon pig for some reason? They have that. To be clear, I mean that it sucks on your clit. Oh wait, I missed a line.
You're killing it, babe.
Want a sucking vibrator that does anything but suck? Oh boy, do they have that. To be clear, I mean it sucks on your clit, but does not suck in the sense that it's bad.
Babe, you have to look at the camera lens when you're doing it.
Are we clear on that? Okay. Yes, good. Moving on.
Wow, great job.
Pretty cool.
You should be a YouTuber.
Thank you.
Right here, I've got the irresistible clitoral stimulator and the honey wand. The irresistible clitoral stimulator begs the question, is it my clit or the stimulation that's responsible? And the answer is yes. And the honey wand begs the question, what if J.K. Rowling wasn't an irredeemable piece of shit and magical creatures could fuck themselves with their wands? And what if they did the Lumos spell while it was in there? Would you become your own nightlight? Could you become a disco ball? Tell me in the comments if you were a magical creature and you fucked yourself with a wand and then lit it up, if you would be a nightlight or a disco ball.
What would you be?
I mean, I've always wanted to be a disco ball.
Just like a human disco ball.
Yeah. Do you know what's even better than trying to decide if you want to be a human nightlight or a disco ball? Is using both of these together and making your brain explode. Thanks so much to Honey Playbox for sponsoring this video and also my orgasms. Seriously, every time I come, money shoots out. It's awesome. So then I gave you my number, and then what happened?
Oh.
Or no, you gave me your number.
We went into the green room. We went into the green room. We went our separate ways.
Yeah.
And then we went about our days.
Later on in the day, Dodie had a show, and we were backstage, and I saw you, and I was like, come over here.
Yes, because Lucy had to leave.
Got
and you knew I was her friend or whatever. So I sat at the side stage with you, Zoe, and Laura. Us four were all there. We were sat next to each other, and I was really nervous. And then...
I didn't know it started with a Dodie show and the next Dodie show, too.
Spoiler!
Uh-oh.
You went up on stage in the middle.
Oh.
And I was just with your friends that I'd met just then. And I remember thinking, oh, these are really lovely people. That's really cool. The show ended, and then everybody was going to a certain hotel, because, there's always a bunch of hotels that people go to.
Yeah.
You said to me, Zoe, and Laura, should we go back to my hotel? Like, my room or whatever. So we went back to the hotel, went into your room.
I thought we went to the lobby.
We went to your room first, because I think you wanted to, probably freshen up or something, I don't know. And then we went down to the lobby, and we started playing drinking games.
Oh, I don't remember any of this. I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
We were all drinking.
Were we playing Paranoia?
No, it was only 4 of us. So.
Oh.
No, we were just drinking, and then you were asking questions. You were just asking uncomfortable questions. Obviously, just being classic you,
Yeah.
I remember you had your leg over me. I was next to you, and you had your leg over me, and I was like, oh my god. Anyway,
I thought you were really cute, and you were playing it so cool. I had no idea you were nervous at any of those points.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good at hiding when I'm nervous.
Yeah, I feel like I would have remembered being wow, I make her nervous,
Yeah, I probably didn't show it at all.
Yeah, especially after what happened the next day. I was like, there's no way she's nervous. Then everybody wanted to go to a club. I remember this.
No.
I remember putting my leg over you.
And then we went to the other hotel to meet everybody, because all our friends were there. And so we went there, and I was sat over with some other people. Might have been Corey and Noah potentially. Whenever someone had moved, so there was a space next to you, you'd keep on asking me to come over. You wanted me to sit next to you, and so I'd do that. And then you were going through my Instagram, and you were saying that I look like a boy. Do you remember that?
No.
What? Yeah,
that's so funny.
You were saying that I look like a fuckboy. You're definitely a fuckboy, aren't you? And I was like, I'm literally the opposite of a fuckboy. Absolutely not. And you were like, yeah. And then one of my photos, the caption was fuckboy, and I was like, I swear I'm not. I'm not. Oh, and then you started telling me what my color code was.
Well, yep, 2018. 2018 was color code year.
Yeah. You were just saying that I was such a white and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, we were chatting and flirting and stuff. I remember we went to the toilet at the same time, and it was really tense and it was just
for you.
For me at least. I was woo, we're at the toilet at the same time. We're washing our hands together. Okay, no. So we did that. And then everybody was going into central London, Christine and Dodie L.
Yeah, and I was already so exhausted from being at a convention, and I was like, oh no, everybody's gonna leave me, and I can't go because I'm way too exhausted. So then I was like, so do you want to have all our friends go out, and then you stay here with me? Mm-hmm. And you looked exactly like that, but you said, yeah, sure.
Yeah, whatever.
And then I was like, so how far away do you work?
See, now your memory starts coming in.
Yeah, I remember this part. I was like, so where do you live? And you were like, Shoreditch. And I was like, how far away from here is that? And you were like 20 minutes. And then I was like, where do you work? And you told me where you worked. And then I was like, how far away is that from here? And so I was trying to figure out if I could use an excuse of, oh, you could just stay here with me if it's easier for you to get to work tomorrow. And so then I asked you to stay with me in my hotel room.
Yes.
Then what happened?
When in reality, my place was an equal distance. I didn't need to stay at all.
Then you went up to my hotel room.
No. You skipped a whole part here.
Oh, what did I skip?
We stayed back with Josh and Katie.
Oh,
while
yeah.
everyone else was in central London going to the clubs and stuff. Then we stood there for a couple of hours, and then we were like, fuck it, shall we just go? So us 4 jumped in a cab and went all the way to central London to meet them. And then they basically couldn't get into any clubs or something.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure they were in so I didn't have to wait in the line outside, I think.
Yeah, but then we ended up queuing to get into GAY. And then
Did we go?
Well, no, because the queue was so long. I ended up just being like, no, there's no point in doing this. So we ended up going to a casino. And we all just kind of sat around a table. I remember Elle went from across the table. She said to me, "You're so mysterious." And I was like, "What?" And then she was like, "I can't work you out. You're so mysterious." And then you like agreed with her.
Yeah, you were just like a too cool for school boy, you know what I mean?
Oh my god. And then, you were like flirting with me, like in front of everyone, and I was very embarrassed. And then you said again, you were like, that's when you were like, "Are you coming back to my hotel with me then?" And I was like, "Sure." Sure, no problem. Even though at this point I'm even closer to my house. I'm in central London. Me, you, Elle and Dodie all share a cab back to the hotel. We all get in a lift together and they get out and then we get out and go to your room.
Were they like, "What's happening?"
I think like Dodie was like excited. I think she was like...
Aw, because she knew both of us.
Yeah, she knew you way more than me obviously,
Yeah.
but we were like friends or whatever. Like we got along well. But I think she was just like...
So then you come up to my hotel room, we talking about horoscopes and color code, and I'm asking you compatibility questions. What are you crying about? Are we not giving you enough attention?
Oh my goodness, our child.
Oh, this is our baby Gumbo.
Hello. Oh yeah, so we went into your hotel room and then you like got me some water or something like that. And then we were in bed and we were just like, you know, obviously getting to know each other a bit more because we didn't know that much about each other.
Yeah.
So we were talking for hours and you introduced me to, what's that app called?
No idea. CoStar.
CoStar. You made me get CoStar and then you read me my entire reading, which is like a lot.
Really?
You read me the whole thing in bed and you were talking about how compatible we are. You were like, oh my God.
Cancer,
like,
Capricorn.
Yeah, you were like, I'm the most compatible with you or whatever. Like, including my like rising and moon signs and everything. You were like, oh my God, like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I bet she's just with every girl. Oh my God, we're so compatible.
So then I was like, what are you doing tomorrow? And you were like, I have work.
It's a Monday.
And I was like, well, do you want to call in sick and come with me on a first date to Paris instead? And what'd you say?
No.
She said no. She has unlimited paid holidays at her job. Why'd you say no?
I didn't think you were being serious. You definitely didn't word it as properly as that. It was like, let's go to Paris tomorrow. It was like very like, nah. You know, like it wasn't like.
But really, that
official.
was my goal. I was like, I need to go on a first date to Paris while I'm in England this time because I'd never been to Paris before.
Yeah, I didn't have that context. I kind of thought that you were just like being silly, I guess. And I was like, oh, I can't. I've got work. You know.
And then I was like, quit your job.
Then you said quit my job. And I was like,
obviously sarcastically.
I can't do that.
And then the next day, I woke up and you were gone and you were at work.
Yeah, I went to work.
And then what happened?
We were texting and flirting. And then you betrayed me.
I betrayed you. You fucking rejected me.
Because I didn't think you were being serious.
That's not my fault. Now you know that I mean what I say.
Yeah, she took another girl to Paris. She met someone on Tinder or something and took them to Paris.
And I had a wonderful time.
She had a great time. And like I remember like looking at your stories
of me in
and
Paris.
Seeing you on like the Eurostar to Paris and like there being like a girl, like a mysterious girl, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, she's a boy. I was like, oh my God, like she didn't even like me.
You said no. What do you think I'm gonna do? Sit and sulk for however long?
No, but I was like, she liked me. Like we stayed up all night talking. It was really cute. We spooned to sleep. It was adorable. And we were texting and flirting. And then you like took another girl to Paris. And I was like, well, she asked me if I wanted to go to Paris, and I didn't know she was serious. And oh my goodness. And then you were just having a date in Paris with some girl.
So did you regret saying no, or were you just mad at me for being a boy?
I regretted saying no, and I was mad at you for being a boy.
Oh, right. Okay,
yeah,
so both.
Both at the same time.
All right. Well, hope you guys liked this video. Thank you so much to Honey Playbox for sponsoring.
They don't even...
And thank you so much to Josie for telling the whole story.
That's not the whole story.
If you want to hear what happens next, leave a comment below and share this video with everyone you know. Also, thanks so much to my patrons for supporting videos like this. If you want to become part of my Patreon family, click the link in the description and join and sign up for one of the perks that sound nice. Okay, love you. Bye. Can't believe that there was 2 Dodie shows in our relationship story.
Well, only one in this story.
Are you mad that I cut it off short?
Well, I don't know. It's not the whole story.
I know.
That was just the beginning.
Listen, you gotta leave them wanting more, am I right?
Oh my god. Like I did you.
I also can't believe this is my longest relationship.
Yeah.
It feels like we've been together for 47 years, but also like 6 months at the same time.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because we're in love.
We're in love!